What's going on, Aries? Aries, are you pumped? Let me not get you too fired up yet, but it's almost that time. But Aries, see, this is what happens when I go off track. Welcome to my channel, Alchemist 8. Justin here, and I hope you're getting ready to have the most exciting birthday season coming up here soon. It's so exciting. Love birthday season when when fresh energies are getting ready to come into the mix here. But so we still got a little bit of time for that. But for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just invigorating, Aries, and it keeps us growing. I actually just found out that someone that I absolutely adore has their sun in Aries. It is just it's raised my vibration to the roof. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy how yourself is brought you here. We are in for an amazing journey. And let me tell you why I'm so pumped, Aries, because it is Celestial News Monthly. I mean, how could you not be excited? I know you've been waiting this whole time. I'm sure the weekly downloads have been holding you over, but it's just like, when it's Celestial News Monthly coming? It's that time, Aries. But when the sun, with this monthly spread, for those of you who are new, when the sun moves into a new sign, we're going to talk about where the planets are at and how we can work with the energies. And just so y'all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one, so take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said there, Aries, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Crystals, feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Aries. Now, Aries, I have Zodiac Oracle cards here with the signs that the sun and the planets are in. We even got a bit of lunar shenanigans in here, Aries. I don't get to talk about that on this channel that often, so that's always really exciting. But I'm going to pull an Oracle card from this deck for each one of them, and then we'll get some details with the tarot. But before we jump into this thing, Aries, these readings that I do, they're not gender-specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situation, okay? Think of yourself. And in case if y'all were curious, the decks that I'm working with, I've included links to them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested. But also down below some links for some other readers that I enjoy watching their Aries, so definitely check them out. One of them's an Aries, so that's cool. And I also have some links for an astrologer that I enjoy listening to. There are a couple of podcasts that I enjoy watching. Also, there's a link for some apps that I really enjoy their Aries, so avail yourself of all these goodies. It's really just a treasure trove down there for you. But I'm so speechless, Aries, because you are really bringing it for your birthday season. I'm so pumped because you have the sun that's entering your sign. And by the way, Aries, the sun after Leo is exalted in your sign. So the sun thrives. It does very well with your energy. So this is a very exciting time. But also you have a new moon total solar eclipse that's happening in your energy. There's Mercury that's already there, but it's getting ready to go retrograde. And then we have the lovely Empress, Venus, that's going to be entering your sign as well. But let's start with the sun, because the sun's going to be entering on the 19th of March at about 8:07 p.m., and that'll be Eastern time. And then we'll be there through the 19th of April. And with this energy, Aries, we start off the equinox, the vernal or the spring equinox. This is when things come alive, Aries. I'm just picturing just every time I think about your season, I really do enjoy the springtime. There's the energy of, it's a little bit different now, but I remember growing up, it's just like everything was just fresh. The rain would cleanse the earth, the flowers would be blooming. It's there's this invigorating energy that's happening here. You can almost feel the pulse of the planet that's happening, and that's what your energy does, Aries. It brings this new sense of confidence, this invigoration, this at a high expression. Aries is is just that zest of life, you know, that real sort of like going out and seizing the day, welcoming all of the triumphs and the challenges. And I feel that this sun being here for you is just reinvigorating you there, Aries, because it's very interesting what's getting ready to happen. I kind of rearranged the cards a little bit. Normally I have an order that I go in, but I feel like where your ruler is going to be at, this is going to be a unique, kind of a interesting one for you here, Aries. But I feel that the sun is going to be giving you the energy to go through this kind of unique process here, because I don't feel this as a very necessarily super active for you. It's not that you won't be getting things done, but I feel this could be a very kind of visualizing time for you, really kind of to use your imagination as far as where you want things to go. Be very intentional with your energy. Take all of this. I feel like it's this really kind of controlled blend of energy here, how we're really being this, embodying that like emperor energy in a very kind of strong, mindful way here, Aries, because with all these planets that are entering your sign, they're going to be forming conjunctions. And now conjunctions are very interesting energy because it's a fusion of that planetary energy with your Aries placements wherever they happen to be, and happens within 0 to 3 degrees usually, you know. And this solar energy, along with the rest of them, I feel is going to probably be a lot, because there's going to be a high concentration of Aries energy, especially around that new moon total solar eclipse. All the personal planets sans your ruler are going to be lit up by this energy. And I feel it's taking how that resonates in your body and really, again, kind of envision where you want to go with this. I was telling Leo and Cancer that this is going to be one where I feel like we're going to feel like we want to jump and go all over the place and just jump at the first thing. But this is, I feel like, one, again, of like being just really focused as far as like where I want to go, like, you know, not taking the first thing like, ooh, that really resonates with me, let me go for that. Because this next energy, let's talk about the next one, because you have a new moon total solar eclipse that's going to be happening in your sign on the 8th of April at 11:21 a.m. and it'll be at 19 degrees 24 minutes of Aries. So if you have any Aries placements around that point, or that you may feel this one more potently, or if you have any sort of air placements or points, other fire placements or cardinal placements, which would be outside of your own, would be Cancer, Libra, or Capricorn. This is something that may influence you or influence those points as well. But this is one, eclipses bring about change. And I feel that we're getting ready to get in. When this is even coming out this week, the energies are kind of a bit quiet after we just had that new supermoon that happened in Pisces not too long ago. When this is coming out, it would have been on Sunday when this happened, on the 10th of March. And now, you know, I feel when this new total, with this newer moon that comes around here, the solar eclipse that's going to be happening, this is being, again, very intentional. What is it that you want to begin? What have we been maybe afraid to start up? This is a great time to really use your fear as fuel. Use that solar energy to kind of shine a light on these things that we may have kept eclipsed, and go with this new confidence that we can get it done. Maybe this is wanting to live abroad. Maybe this is wanting to ask that person out on this date. Maybe this is starting that business. Maybe this is going for that promotion. Maybe this is dusting off that old guitar. But it's something here that is starting, that can be, you know, potentially kind of life-changing here. Something that can really kind of bring a new sense of invigoration for you, Aries. Bring about a chance to introduce new passions and to be very ambitious with this energy here. And I kind of like that this that this eclipse is happening after Mercury's a week, or like a week after Mercury's going retrograde in your sign, because Mercury will be retrograding on the first of October, the first of April at about 3:15 p.m. and Mercury's going to go retrograde at 27 degrees 13 minutes of your sign, Aries, and will be retrograde until the 25th of April. And I feel like this, because Mercury's been kind of cruising here, as you know, when we were going through the sign, they kind of breeze through Pisces, and it's like I feel this energy for you is like we get to like right before the finish line, and then something just kind of pulls you back a little bit. And I feel like that pullback is going to be something appropriate, though, because it's just like, wait, before we just spend all this energy here, there are, does this thing really resonate with you like that? Is this something that's going to be sustainable, or are we just jumping at any sort of thing, just starting up stuff just because, just to get the energy out here? And I feel this is one of just being kind of slowing down a little bit, being a bit more intentional. And I like how this energy kind of ties up with, again, where Mars is getting ready to be here, because all this Aries energy is under, again, that rulership of Mars. But let me talk about this last energy here before we get into that, because you have the lovely Empress that's entering Aries on the 4th of, just after Mercury does, on the 4th of April at about 9 p.m. And then we'll be there through the 29th of April. And now with Venus being in Aries, I feel this is a time to really just kind of checking in with your needs. This is a very independent placement for the Empress to be in. Now she's technically in detriment in your sign, because your sign is opposite Libra, the sign that she rules. But I feel this allows her to fulfill her needs now. She's checking in with what she wants and not getting in this sort of, where Libra at a shadow side could be a bit people pleasing, can be a bit, just wants to sacrifice to keep the peace, but then gets into this inactive state. And so now this is a chance for the Empress to do things that make her feel good, to feel alive again, to do things that invigorate the senses. But I feel like we just don't want to get lost in that. We want to be intentional with the things that we experience, in a sense. I feel like this is, it almost gives me like that sort of energy of like we can watch things about nature, or we can actually go be out in the nature, if that makes sense. It's like it's something like, or I maybe feel like in making that analogy, it's like with them talking about that visualization, seeing yourself in a certain environment, how would that energy make you feel? And then going towards that, doing the things that really kind of connect you with the earth as well. It's a very interesting energy, I feel, with Venus in Aries. And I feel like this is an energy to make sure that we are voicing our needs in our relationship, and having the language to do so, and do so in a way that is intentional and mindful and kind of and compassionate here. But yeah, that's what I got, what's going on with this Aries energy. But let's go ahead and get to your first card here, Aries, which you have the Scholar card in reverse, which is a card of investigation and research. And I feel this Scholar card here, Aries, is really kind of asking yourself these more kind of thoughtful questions. What are some things that would get my energies going there? Have I been feeling fresh? Have I been feeling alive? Or have things just been feeling a bit mundane? I haven't been able to maybe stretch my imagination, or been able to challenge myself in some sort of way. And again, this is not like I feel like we're just like, oh, something like that's necessarily that something's wrong. I just feel like it's more so about a way of how can I introduce a new milestone for myself? You know, what are some things that I can do? What are something I don't know about myself? What is some way that I want to expand? How can I show up more confidently in my relationships? You know, that kind of Venus in Aries type of energy there. How can I maybe even inspire others to do the same? Possibly with this energy here, how do I get the liven up the group energy in a sense? So you know, I feel this scholar here is this inquisitive energy that's coming here. You know, again, instead of just maybe jumping at the first thing that like just kind of excites you here, do something that like not just excites you, but I feel like brings this sense of reverence, or the sense of just this deep inner I'm not sure, this deep excitement here, Aries. But let me get some tarot on this and get some details with this. And you know, even thinking too, outside of these planets here, you have Chiron that's in your sign right now. We have, oh, what else? The North Node that is in your sign. So this is a lot of energy. That's, again, a lot of Aries energy that's happening here. And I feel that this is one where, again, your energy deals with that sense of self. You know, you're associated with the first house, which is that idea of how I see the world, how the world sees me, how I'm interacting, what lens does that look like? You know, that courage to be yourself. And all right, but let me see what's going on with the tarot here, Aries. Think you have yourself. Oh, look at that! I'm with it. Oh, interesting. That's very fascinating. So you have the Chariot here, the King of Cups, and the Four of Cups upright. Then you have their ruler, because the Chariot's Cancer energy. Then you have the ruler, the Moon, the High Priestess here, and the World card here, Aries, Saturn. And that's interesting. We're going to talk about Saturn and the Moon in next. But I feel with this Chariot here, I want, you know, again, when I'm saying that it feels like that things may be kind of slowing down for you a bit, Aries, or you being intentional, it's not that the energies are stopping, but I feel that this is a time for you to check in with your inner needs. You know, are you feeling emotionally fulfilled? You know, is this stuff, is what you're doing really resonates with you? Do you feel at peace here, or is there something more that you can get out of this life here? And this King of Cups here too, with this investigation, this is getting me this very introspective energy that's coming through here. He's seated on an ocean, and I feel he's able to see to keep that buoyancy and to keep that, because he's met himself at a deep level. He understands his needs, these sort of, because there's something here I feel with the World card, Aries, that we may have some unfinished things that we may need to learn about ourselves, some things that may need to, some books that may need to be started here, you know, or maybe there's some books that we started and there's some chapters that we've, or some bookmarks that we left that are needing to be re-looked into, but, or needed to be closed out in a sense. But I even feel this World card may feel like you may be stuck at some points, Aries, but during those times, I feel like that's more so an opportunity for you to get grounded. Okay, this is something where I need to stand in for a moment. Again, Mercury is covering a lot of ground in your sign before they go retrograde, and then they're going to be in your sign for a while. So this, again, we're thinking about our actions, how we're showing up, how we're viewing the world, how are we processing these things here, how, you know, and even like thinking about the Moon, you know, this is like how you're processing, you know, stuff every day there, Aries. I feel there's something here that I'm picturing this Four of Pentacles. It's almost like there's this vault. And this is as you're investigating, it's like you're learning the combination. And in that, once you start understanding this deeper energy here, things are going to start unlocking in a way. And I feel like especially after Mercury goes direct and kind of gets out of that retrograde shadow, there's only going to be a little bit of time for Mercury gets into a slower energy of Taurus, but at least now we'll know what we want, and then we can think about how that goes into our work, you know, how that's going to, how we're building your world. And again, being very disciplined and very focused when I'm thinking about the Saturn energy here. So I like that, Aries. Nice little start there for your birthday season. Now, let's hydrate here and then let's talk about Pisces. All right, because with Pisces, you have your ruler Mars that's in Pisces. You have Saturn and Neptune that are also in Pisces as well. They're Aries. Now, let's talk about your ruler because here's the thing, especially if you have your sun that's in Aries or your rising is Aries, Mars plays a very influential place in your chart. And that's because he's a dispositor of those placements, and so you want to pay attention to not just the transiting Mars that's going on, but how Mars is playing in your chart as well. And with Mars being in Pisces, Mars is entering Pisces on the 22nd of March at about 4:55 p.m. and then will be there through the 30th of April. Now, Mars in Pisces, I feel like Mars doesn't have as much energy as normal in Pisces, not as much physical energy. And that's why I say there may feel like there's this bit of, we want to be very mindful because I feel there could be the potentiality for burnout there, Aries, and that we don't want to paying attention to how this physical, the emotional, and the spiritual aspects of working with this. Almost feel like there's this forgiveness and like almost like this accepting of the limitation of the body, especially when I feel once Mars comes into contact with Saturn. I feel like there's going to be this or at least I feel like there will be this need almost for this compassion as far as like what the body can do, but also understanding a bit more, getting a bit more creative as far as like what this vessel can do, how it can manifest. Because Mars is in such an imaginative energy, this again allows us to, I feel like this is a time I feel like to maybe Aries, instead of keeping yourself moving maybe in just like a go doing maybe more kind of slow intentional things, maybe doing some yoga, maybe doing some things like some Tai Chi, or maybe going for maybe some mindful walks possibly, or just something that I feel gets you more so where we're not pushing ourselves over the limit in a sense. We're keeping at a steady pace here with this chariot. But I feel like it's learning to, with the high priestess being in reverse, learning to listen to your energies more intuitively. Really kind of feel when it's time to move and when it's time to just like take a moment and rest and check in with your reserves with I feel like this Four of Pentacles kind of being here, and know that the finish line is in sight. It's not that, I feel like it's not that the finish line is going anywhere, Aries. It's just, we may want to get there faster, but we'll get there when we're meant to get there, is what I feel this energy is trying to get you at with this Mars. But again, I feel like too, a visualization. Where do you see your energies going in this slowdown, in this patience? What does that, again, that end game kind of look like for you? And I even feel too, if there have been some things that haven't been closed out in a sense, maybe this is a relationship, maybe this is a friendship, maybe this is whatever this is, because I feel like that'll tie in with where the next energy is. If there's something that we've left unfinished, if we can repair some things, this can be the Pisces energy is very forgiving, very empathetic. We're able to see others from a different way, channel our energies a bit differently. Mars takes on a softer energy in Pisces. And so, he's the peacemaker, I feel like, in this scenario here. Well, I guess that's kind of more so kind of in Libra too. But Libra and Pisces do share some similarities, but that's neither here nor there. But I do feel that, yeah, just something I feel like to kind of pay attention to there, Aries, as far as that where your ruler goes. This is a very interesting place for him to be. Now, with Saturn's going to be in Pisces until 2025 next year, but he's going to be doing some retrograde stuff between actually your sign and Pisces. But I feel actually, even kind of thinking about that, Aries, for both Saturn and for Neptune, I feel that they're getting ready to complete their zodiacal journey as well. They've traveled through all of the zodiac signs, and they're slow moving planets. Especially, Neptune is the second slowest moving, after Pluto being after her. There's a lot of closings that I feel like that are coming to an end here, and then Saturn and Neptune are going to be kicking things off, and especially those of you who have like early degrees of Aries, this might be kind of an interesting one. This sort of balance back and forth. I feel like it's gonna feel like a teeter totter, but this Saturn in Pisces, I feel like is you giving things form. That's what Saturn, I feel like, is asking you, because he is going to get ready to get in your energy, and he's going to get to work. He's going to get out of this dreamy place, and now the energies he's going to feel fired up now. He's got to shake off that water, get the crust out of his eyes, and you wake up, it's the solstice for him. So I feel this is a time to, the Saturn is wanting you to become more disciplined energetically, I feel like Aries. And he's asking that of all of us, but I feel for you, there's going to be a lot, especially with Neptune getting ready to move into your sign. She'll officially settle in there in 2026. And let's talk about her, because she's been in Pisces since 2011. Will be there. We'll start flirting with your sign around the 30th of March 2025. And so you're going to want to get ready for that, Aries, because I feel that once this Neptune in Pisces again gives you a chance to visualize, to make, I feel like, especially now over these next couple of years, is to make amends with some things. What are some chapters that we need to close? What are some things that we need to understand about ourselves going forward? Because I feel that this Neptune here has put us in a dream and has helped to make our fears and things maybe known. And it has given us an opportunity to explore our unconscious and see these sort of unconscious motivations that may have come up over these last 14 years or so, 13 years right now almost. But think about this time that's been going on through here as Neptune's been going. How have we grown in some sort of ways? And where do you see things going forward? Because then I feel like it's how we've been having these sort of maybe subconscious and unconscious types of tussles here are going to be made a bit more known and going to be felt a little bit more when she moves officially into your energy there, Aries, and will be there. For Neptune takes a long time, about 14 years, I want to say, to move through a sign. So she's going to take her sweet time. There may be some questions as far as like who we're becoming in this. So now she's asking, who do you want to become right now there, Aries? So Where do you see that visual, that this is a chance for you to a blank canvas with this world being in reverse here. But let's get an oracle on this. Oh, look at that. I love it, Aries. Absolutely. Thank you, higher self. Because you have the botanist here. And this is a card of parenthood and legacy. And you know, Aries, I kind of like this parenthood card because I feel that this gives you a chance to be the adult here. You know, I feel this gives you the chance to ask what's your legacy? What do you want to grow? This is not about this is Saturn work right here. Saturn asks, I'm getting chills even just thinking about it. Saturn asks you, what do you want to be? What do you want to do? What do you intuit in the moon? It's like, what do you intuitively, what feels right for you here? And I like this too when I'm talking about this parenthood. Let me get to that real quick because Saturn rules Capricorn. The moon rules over Cancer. They're known as the on that parental axis, you know, that Capricorn's the father, Cancer's the mother. And so I really love this because I feel that this is you again visualizing something growing here, a chance for you to do some research into some things that you may have wanted to explore. Do some things, you know, this is a time for you to treat the things that you start up, I feel like a baby. Think about it in the come at it with that preciousness, all the things that can, all of the joys, all of the fears, let that all come together, fuse together. And what does that mean, you know? And then come at it. I almost feel like that this is dipping into this Mars in Pisces has been giving me this flavor of Scorpio in a sense. And I feel that this is kind of understanding that because the fact that you and Scorpio share a ruler, there's a relationship there. You both come at life with a I feel, but both I feel like both Aries and Scorpio energies are very lighthearted. You know, they're very friendly, very approachable, very like I love that energy. But I feel that there is something here about there's a primal instinct that comes with Aries and Scorpio. There's something that does understand that this journey there is a survival instinct. There's an awareness of fear, you know, but it's not something that I feel like is trying to overcome you. Aries is trying to motivate you, keep you where you're living life to the fullest, you know, going at it very intentionally. How am I showing up today? Being mindful, you know, because this parenthood is a great responsibility. This journey is a great responsibility, and the weight of that. How are we handling this legacy that you're building here, Aries? Let's get some tarot on that. That's fascinating. Alright, Aries. Take care of yourself. See what's going on here. Ooh! Look at this. I love it. So, Aries. So you have the Nine of Wands, and then here you are, the Emperor. See you. And then you have the Sun in Aries. You syncing up with the energies. The Seven of Wands and the Page of Swords upright here. Let's get to work, Aries. Let's talk about you because this Emperor here is fascinating. You know, he's he's paused, I feel, is what's happening here. Because I feel that, again, if you, there's, I feel you're going to have a lot of ideas with the Page of Wands. I feel like there's this light that's shining here. We're going to feel this invigorate. We're going to feel invigorated. We're going to feel motivated. It's going to be a lot of cool stuff, maybe. But this Seven of Wands being here, there's this need of, I'm getting, the phrase that's coming through is honing a craft. That there's this discipline that's happening here. I need to understand that in order to, you know, a martial artist doesn't just become, isn't just an expert when they wake up. They sure there can be talents, of course, but usually it's something that needs to be honed here. Otherwise, they kind of get. I'm getting in like an over your head energy here with the Nine of Wands that we may get beat up a bit more than necessary. But there's something here that's happening, Aries. That again, I feel like we don't. For some, I feel like it's not jumping at this thing. But there's another thing here. Just again, just to be mindful of your energies. Because the Nine of Wands can be a card of burnout. It can be a very physical card, but it can be one where we may work harder instead of smarter. But there's something else here. There's the fear that's on the Emperor, and it's there. You know, you can sense it, and I feel like there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm getting like, it's just like I keep getting like I smell fear on the Emperor, and I feel like there's something here about acknowledging this fear that maybe we don't know what we're doing. This could be actual parenthood. This could be a start of a project. We could be worried that people may criticize something that we may start up here, criticize how we're going about doing something. But I feel that this is not about what other people are, especially about what other people think. This is about what makes you happy. This is about your legacy. And of course, you're going to, whatever this is we're starting up, it's okay to feel afraid. You're going to make mistakes along the way. And I know that doesn't make it any better, just saying that. But I feel like it's when you allow yourself to make that first mistake, to not be perfect. Because I feel the Seven of Wands here is trying to be perfect, to try to protect the ego, you know, to try to protect it from being hurt. But the ego does have great intentions, but there is a part that Aries takes that like, it pushes that ego in a sense. It pushes that ego, I feel like, to grow. It pushes it to embrace fear, where, you know, we're not putting ourselves in any sort of danger, but it's like without that level of stress, then, or that sense of conflict, then nothing would get done. You know, then we just get into this inactive type of energy. So, you know, whatever this is that you may want to start up there, Aries, I feel like it's definitely worth getting into. Definitely worth, you know, checking it out and seeing where it could lead you. You know, and again, it is a heavy responsibility, whatever it is, and we may not have all the answers, but if we have all the answers, then what would be the point? And believe me, I say that very lightly. Now let's talk about this other eclipse that's happening in your energy, because you have on the 25th of March a full moon penumbral lunar eclipse that's happening in Libra, on the 25th at midnight, and this will be at 5 degrees 7 minutes of Libra. And this is forming, especially if you have points at this place at 5 degrees of Libra, this is going to be affecting within, I'd say, about 2 to 3 degrees of that point. So 6, 7, 8 degrees, or 3, 4, or excuse me, 2, 3, 4 degrees of Libra. But I feel that a penumbra full moon means that, like, visually there's not, anything like on the surface. I feel like a lot that's happening with the moon. And I feel like that's how this is going to play out. There's going to be things that on the surface, things may seem fine, which I feel like is what Libra does. Libra has a way of keeping the peace, keeping things balanced, making things appear that they are in that things are in this state of harmony. But I feel that there's a subtleness here. The subtleties are going to be brought to the surface with the full moon, because the full moon shines a light on everything, you know. And so I feel, and that's interesting that you got the sun and the moon here, Aries. So I feel that this can be one where maybe we're, with your ruler being in such an intuitive sign as Pisces, we may be sensing things from others. You know, this is a time to be a bit more present in our relationships and investigate. Even just thinking with the cards that you have, do the people that are around me support my legacy? Do I support theirs? You know, like, are we, where are we at on this thing? You know, is there, and I feel that there can be, because, you know, again, eclipses can be this sort of, you know, they can bring this change, they can rock things a bit, but I feel that when this is happening, we if we come from a place of awareness and from compassion and from this place, just again, because with Mars entering into the sign right before this eclipse is happening, we can be a bit softer in how we're going about differences in relationships and how, what are some things that may come up. Aries, is what I'm kind of feeling this for you. There may be something that you need and there may be something that others need, and they may not be a match. So what does that middle ground look like? How do we perform together? You know, or can we perform together? You know, how does that look like? You know, so, but I feel like this, just with what I've been kind of feeling, this full moon, where the eclipse energies are intense, I do feel that this is definitely, I feel, more so kind of intense on a, our, how we go about, I feel, what balance and fairness in things and reciprocity looks like. I feel like is going to play a big factor in this. You know, because there could be this chance, you know, with Libra, sometimes there can be this, again, that people pleasing, or, you know, just things that aren't in balance. So, and then, like I was saying, that forms an opposition. So this could be some tougher energies to integrate, Aries, but I feel like it's not one where we need to necessarily rush in to be reactive. It's like, let the dust settle if we get into any sort of disagreements. Sit on it, acknowledge, you know, have just a different type of dialogue with it. But let me get an oracle card on this. All right, think of herself. Huh, interesting. So you have the Dancer card in reverse here, Aries, and this is a card of self-expression and strength. And so I feel that this is happening because, again, the moon is our emotional needs. You know, are they being fulfilled? How are we processing that stuff? And I feel that there's strength in knowing what we need and, okay, expressing those things, but I feel we have to have the strength and the courage to voice this type of stuff. But, you know, with this Libra energy, again, there's a balance that's happening here. This is not just saying, we're not coming in with what we'll say, for an example, with the relationship, as far as like, only my needs matter. It's about everyone having a seat at the table, expressing their needs, and what can we do to meet each other halfway? How can we both benefit from this? Someone's going to win. We're both going to win something, and we may both lose something, but everyone comes up equal. Everyone comes up balanced at the end. But I do feel like the self-expression is maybe really understanding what we want, and in just blurting out some sort of thing in a heat of a moment, come at it more so mindful, because there is a tactfulness that Libra has that is very, it's so intuitive when you really see Libra energy at work. And we can learn a lot from our opposite signs there, Aries. So I feel that this is one, both the positive and the negatives, but I do feel that this is allowing yourself the space to express yourself and your needs, and also allow the space of others, and then watch how things strengthen together. And this could even be just even on an individual level. Maybe even, again, maybe this is something we need to research, understand, like maybe we've been feeling some sort of pent up energy here because we haven't allowed ourselves to feel our true sense of happiness. Mars was just, still in Aquarius for a little bit when this is coming out, but Mars has been kind of finding himself. He had that conversation with Pluto at the beginning, and now it's like this identity is like, who am I becoming? How am I sticking to this place? And then it gets into Pisces, where I feel like now he's kind of understand himself, but what does that mean? What did we learn through all of that? What are some things we need to let go? How are we going to get bigger? How are we going to strengthen from that? But let me get some tarot on this, Aries, and get some details. All right, Aries, take care of yourself. Interesting. So here's Dad. So you have the Devil, Capricorn, the Nine of Pentacles, the Three of Swords, and the Five of Cups in reverse here, Aries. And let's start with Capricorn, because I do feel with this, that's what Capricorn is about, self-expression. And I feel that as far as like, who do you want to be? And it's not, and it's an understanding with Capricorn. Capricorn is a very is a solitary energy. It's not that they can't be with others, but there is some times where they do need that space to process who they want to be, to find their inner strength, to know that yes, it's nice to feel supported, to feel loved in this, but to know that they don't need that validation in order to be okay. And again, it's like we accept that, we allow ourselves this energy to feel, in the space to feel here, Aries. But I do feel that there is this thing here, as far as this Devil is reminding us that we don't need things outside of ourselves to help grow. It is a reminder that all this outer stuff is a distraction. And I feel there's this energy here, almost in being comfortable with being yourself here, Aries, with the Nine of Pentacles being here. This is allowing yourself to see how has your relationships, maybe with your environment, maybe with your workspace, maybe with your friends, limited your self-expression. And what are some things that we need to release? Some things we need to have maybe difficult conversations about here, but something I feel like is something that's built up here that's needing to be released with the Five of Cups is what I'm getting, and then process and in not just healing but growing from it, Aries. And it's something that's going to take some work. And I feel this Nine of Pentacles it's just like it's learning how to heal that voice, that self, that but again, it's something with the devil being here, that this is your responsibility. Where even like for with like tarot card readings, with therapists, with any sort of sort of help like this, life coaches, they don't do the work for you. They can just give you advice, whether that resonates with you or not, that's a whole other thing. But yeah, this is, I feel like, an energy for you to take. And I like this too, even just thinking about this, Aries, because you have a lot of cardinal energy, having Cancer yourself in Capricorn here. All we need is Libra. We got a four of a kind here. So, and you got both mom and dad, moon, Saturn, Capricorn, Cancer. We were just talking about all that. So all the pieces are together here. And now it's just like what's blooming from that. But I like that, Aries. Let's talk about this next energy. Because you have Uranus that is in Taurus, and then you have Jupiter that's in Taurus as well. Now, Big Papa is going to be into Jupiter. Is going to be in Taurus until the 25th of May. And that's going to be dope for you, Aries. This Jupiter in Taurus has been one that has been teaching us to appreciate the little things. I feel like helping us grow in our areas of self-worth, understanding how we may have been, how we've been, I feel like, investing in things, how things affect us in the long run there. I feel this has been one too. It's just like, as far as like even with like the scholar and things, I feel like kind of look over, since Jupiter entered Taurus around this time last year, around the 16th of May. And how have you grown over this year? And I almost feel like it's like, how has your environment helped you grow as well? Just how is your connection, even, I feel like, with, that's interesting, like with nature and with the season, because again, having that cardinal energy, that is a pivotal point. That's a big energy that comes through. Each sign like that. The cardinals are the initiators of the zodiac, and so I feel like it's just like, how have you shown up for yourself? Again, we're getting to this because I feel like once we get to Gemini, then this gives you a chance to take what you've learned about yourself, how you've grown, and then expand on that even further, communicate on that, learn from others, get into this exchange. There's there's this lighter energy that comes, I feel like, with this Jupiter in Gemini energy that's getting ready to happen here soon. But while he's in Taurus, I feel that for a little while longer, I feel that this Jupiter in Taurus energy for you, Aries, is one that gives you a moment, especially with your ruler getting ready to form some harmonious aspects with Jupiter and with and with Uranus here in a little bit. That gives you a chance to just, again, to feel grounded, to feel a little more safe and secure in yourself, I feel like. And look at the ways that you've invested in yourself, and how that has, and what results that has produced, and where we can take this to that next level. Because then I feel this Jupiter in Gemini is going to be a curious one as well, where we're going to want to learn and absorb a lot and see and experience a lot of things and get moving. So, and then you have Uranus that's in Taurus, and Uranus has been in Taurus since 2018 of May, and then we'll be there until till July 2025. And he's going to be doing some retrograding between Gemini and Taurus for a little bit. But I feel this Uranus in Taurus has been, I feel like maybe for you, Aries, this may has been one where it's been trying to get you maybe to slow down a little bit, because Uranus, I feel like, has been kind of dragging here as of late. And I feel that this is a time, or this can be an energy for you while we still have these next couple years of that, to plants. I feel like plant some seeds now, in a sense. Think of some new ways that, again, that you can invest in yourself. What are some things that we can kind of free ourselves up here from the devil, that we may have surrendered ourselves, that may have limited our expression? What are some more, what do we feel we're ready to, it's like to get ready to take on more responsibility. I feel like in this Uranus energy, I feel like it's not, because I feel like even like the fear is, it's like not even rebelling against that fear as well. If that's something that's been resonating with you, you've been kind of on the fence about wanting to take something to the next level. This Uranus and Taurus is one that can, I feel, get you going and get you thinking about new ways of going about finding that sense of peace, finding that sense of balance. And even for some, and keep in mind, sidebar, this is not medical advice or anything, but I'm even getting for some that there can be even this looking into maybe some holistic ways of taking care of yourself, some innovative, because Taurus is a very physical sign like yourself. And I feel this could be just looking into maybe like, just like Tai Chi, like I was saying, or just like different ways of moving the body outside the traditional, maybe just like going to the gym or something like that, doing a spinning class, do something a bit, maybe go rowing, move some muscles that you haven't moved before, just something different here, Aries. And I feel like even in that could get you thinking a bit differently as well. But, interesting, Aries. Thank you, higher self. So you have the air card in reverse here, Aries, and not air like the wind, the air like a prince, like an emperor, Aries. And this is a card of unseen potential and hesitation. So listen here, Emperor. This is, I feel like, the universe kind of issuing you a challenge. You have all this unseen potential, Aries, and Pluto's in Aquarius. And I bring that up to say that Pluto is the higher octave of your ruler, Mars. And so now I feel like it's like your higher self is asking you to, because Aquarius is taking that individuality that was found in Capricorn, and now it's really, it's seeing how that energy is affected in the public. And now Pluto, I feel like, wants us to share that unseen potential with the with the soul tribe. Bring your unique expression to the table so we can elevate ourselves together. We're in a time where it's time for the people. I think I was talking with Cancer about this, where I was doing some just research and things and getting notes and stuff all put together. And the last time that Uranus was in Gemini, which he'll be getting there next year, Pluto was in Leo, the opposite sign of where he's at right now. And it was a time where there was a lot of power, a lot of heirs, emperors, government things, where conversations was happening there. There was like what's the word when I'm thinking about the Yalta conference. A couple of other things were going on around this time. But now that we're getting ready to come around this energy again, I feel this is a time where it's not about just, and we're going to talk about this next, but it's like it's not about just rulers, new people coming up here. This is a new sense of autonomy. We're not going towards the extreme level of Uranus, which is just like barbarism or like this sort of like anarchy. It's more so just like realizing that people are ready to take on more responsibility. We've always looked for a savior, looked for someone to, as opposed to standing in our own strength, being our own. We've always wanted to almost pass the baton in the sense, like putting this if I failed, it's somebody else's fault. You know what I mean, Aries? And that's what I feel like this energy is kind of challenging you. It's just like you're not giving yourself enough credit. You may have given yourself where you may, this could be, and you got Seven of Wands here. I'm getting chills and I'm getting a little heated just thinking about it, Aries. You may not have been where you may have had it where, you may have blamed someone, or whatever this criticism is, but now it's a time to see things for as they are, where we've been kind of holding back, where we can again rise up to the occasion and step up, because we all have to do it. This Pluto in Aquarius, and this Uranus energy here is in this, all this Taurus energy, that they've been in, is, I almost feel like that, because Taurus at a lower expression can be very self-conscious and doesn't move, and won't just hesitate. It's different. Both, it's very interesting. The signs that the Empress rules, Libra and Taurus, both have a stagnancy, can be a very big thing that plays with them. Taurus is more stagnant. I feel like Libra is more indecisive at a lower expression. But, I feel like this, pay attention to that, Aries. This is, potential is just that. It's just, you can have $1 million lottery ticket, but if you don't cash it, it's just a piece of paper. But let's see what's going on here, Emperor. Let's get you fired up. let's get you enlivened again, because it's time for you. The universe is presenting your crown, and it's heavy, the crown that it wears. But I feel like this is not from a traditional leader point. This is, everyone has to step up. Everyone needs to get in that kind of emperor energy. I like the idea. I was listening to something not too long ago, and it was talking about this as everyone as a leader, and being able to show up for your life and being your individual. A leader inspires. That's what leaders do. And when you show up and be your authentic self, that, like Pluto's asking, walking in your power, then that inspires other people to walk in their power, and then we're powerful as a collective. This is about this is not about being the greatest compared to someone else. This is being the greatest you, because in you doing that and me doing that, we doing that, love that. 3 of Wands. I knew this was going to be a dope one for you. Aries, you have the 3 of Wands, which is the Sun in Aries. So if you needed any more sort of like validation that this is a time for you to step up and show out, Emperor, you have you have the 3 of Wands, the 9 of Swords, the 7 of Cups, and the King of Pentacles in reverse. Then you got the Ace of Swords upright. Look, another crown. Let me bring the energy. Let me get back centered. This is, I feel like, you contemplating power, Aries. And I know we're about to talk about this next. I'm getting chill. This is you contemplating power in the sense of, what is your power? Because I feel that it's not saying that you need to be any one thing, but I do feel that this is saying that you have the potential to be all of the things. It's just that what route do you want to tackle first? There's so many things that we want to accomplish. There's so many things that we will accomplish on this journey, but there's so many things that we won't accomplish on this journey as well. We're going to accomplish what we're meant to. So in that world, right now, this is awareness. This is sharp. What are you afraid of? Because I feel like that fear is where you want to go, where you want to, not even want to go, where you want to explore. That's what I feel like this energy is offering you here. This doesn't have to, because the 7 of Cups in reverse can be that indecisiveness. Not sure. Like, what if? Like, Well, what if? What if you're a King of Pentacles? What if you do fail? King of Pentacles fails sometimes, but he takes that lesson and rises up again because in those challenges he finds his potential. He finds where he can rise up again. But I feel there's something here, Aries, that's wanted to be tapped into, that if you don't, it's just something I feel like you'll just think about. You'll ponder, you'll like the idea, but then and it's just sort of like, it's unfulfilled. It's not that it's not happy, but it feels it's like you've pinned, it feels like how I'm feeling this, Aries. It's like you've gotten that $1 million lottery ticket, and then you put it in a frame and say, look at that, I've won, and no one sees it. Now let's talk about Aquarius with all this power, Aries, because I'm so Aries. I hope you know I'm not coming at you, Aries. I hope you know I'm not coming at you. I was just telling Cancer, your season is getting Cancer energy riled up. My sun sign's in Cancer, and so, you know. But with Pluto being in Aquarius over these next 20 years, because Pluto's going to be in Aquarius until 2043, this is a time to, like I was saying, show up and show out. This is a time that this is a time collectively to show up and show out. We all have a part to play in this. Pluto is going to look at things thoroughly. Pluto is going to change relationships with groups that we used to, is going to put stuff under a microscope. Pluto's very introspective. Nothing's going to be missed with him. That's why he takes the longest. He's going to take your ideas and challenge them. He's going to take ideas from others and they're going to challenge you. There are going to be groups that are going to be removed because they've served their purpose. And it's not that no one's failed, no one's done anything, but the vibration has shifted. And so we need to find areas where I feel like it's just collectively we're growing, we're interacting more, we're needing to come together. There needs to be these next couple of Pluto transits. You know, we're embarking on this journey at a very interesting period of time because Pluto is wrapping up very slowly, but wrapping up. And, you know, depending on the length of this journey, we're hopefully going to be able to see this transition. But right now, I feel the collective mind is being challenged right now in understanding the power of how us as individuals, when we show up, then everybody else shows up and they get in their power. But when everybody else doesn't, then it's unseen potential. So this is not me coming at you. This is me coming at myself. This is us coming at each other because we need to motivate each other. We need to get to a place where we're taking equal responsibility. We're all parents in this. Look at how Uranus and Taurus, look at how we've treated our home. Pluto in Aquarius, what does that look like for the future? How are we inventing together? How are we growing? Are we evolving together? It's a lot. And this is gonna be dope for you, Aries, because I feel I like that. This can be really dope for you because this is Pluto over the next 20 years is gonna be forming sextiles with your placements. And sextiles are excitable. They're potential for me. They are potential. They are excitable energies. You can get pumped. You can feel this thing, but if you don't do anything with it, it doesn't matter. So Pluto is giving you in an easy conversation with your Aries placements right now. He just got done yelling at you, being in Capricorn, and now What did we learn from that? How we found ourselves. This is a time for you to really kind of Aries energy. I love it because it does inspire. It gets things lit up. It gets things excited. It gets things when it's on. When an emperor's on. Let me get your last card here, Aries. Yeah. Thank you, higher self. So you got the founder here, Aries, which is a card of foundations and community. And right now there's hardly a community. How's your community looking? How's that foundation feeling? And I don't mean that it needs to be something massive, but does the foundation feel strong? Does it feel like it can weather the changes that are happening, or are you noticing the foundations crumbling? Do you noticing the tower energy that's coming? Do you feel your ruler changing things up, asking what do you want to do? This, I feel, is a time for you to to step up. And it's just like you may be thinking, why me? Because who else? If no one else is stepping up, who else is doing it? And I know that that's tough, but it doesn't have to be anything super. When we think about the concept of leaders, I was just listening to something about this. And you have, again, Chiron and the South Node or the North Node that are traveling through your signs right now. A leader is not just someone you see, just by the traditional standard, like a government person, like a president, a world leader, a manager, a CEO, a king, queen, emperor, empress. Leaders are, again, someone who shows up and inspires others to walk in their strength. Everyone plays a part, and in that the community thrives. It's not that one person is in charge of the community, because what happens, not if, when that emperor cannot bring it today. When he makes a mistake, the whole thing falls. That's not sustainable. Let's get your last tarot cards here, Aries. I like this energy that you're bringing in. You're, and I know that people are like, I'm tired of this stuff. Well, yeah, we're tired because it's a lot of work to do. I almost forgot my language. But you know what? The workload wouldn't be so heavy, and it won't be so heavy when we start showing up as a community. And that's the thing, Aries. Don't feel like this is something, if you notice that this is something that you're shouldering by yourself and other people aren't doing it, then it's not that we're just cutting people out, but we are letting people be more accountable. Saying like, hey, I understand your pain, but you got to save yourself. Because when you because if I know you can save yourself, then I know that you can save me too. But if you can't save yourself, you can't save me. You can't do anything for me. So, absolutely. So last little bit here is you got the King of Wands, the Ace of Wands, and the Ten of Swords in reverse. And then you have the Seven of Swords and the Page of Wands up right here, Aries. And let's switch back over. This is going to be a time where I feel a lot of stuff is changing. A lot of relationships. There's going to be some stuff where we may feel betrayed, where we may feel stabbed in the back, we may feel lied to, we may feel all these things, have all these thoughts and stuff. And it's just like, there's a part of that just wants to be just like, we're going through this human experience. This energy is a lot. We're going to make mistakes. No one comes into this life a King of Wands, an expert, totally knowing what they're doing. And if they say so, whatever. But I do feel like that this Page of Wands is allowing ourselves a bit more grace, ourselves and others as well. We're going to make mistakes. Not everyone has the answers, but I do feel like we need to take more responsibilities in what we do energetically. King of Wands in reverse, Ace of Wands in reverse. No one can tell you to do this stuff. You just have to do it because we all have to do it. It's just, or you don't. You don't. But here's the thing. When we just got to be mindful of when we don't work towards ourselves and things, that there's no one that we can be upset at. Not the universe, not the planets, not our therapists, not our parents, not anything. This energy here is you are the founder of this foundation. You're building in a city, Aries. So you're the king, you're the dancer, you're the botanist, you're the scholar. Look at all these you're all these things. So I feel that I kind of like this now that I'm looking at this. You have all these different kind of occupations, very 10th house type of stuff. The founder, the heir, the dancer. All of those are reversed except that botanist, the one that's the grower, the one that is that talks about the real responsibility in all of this. Who are you? Who are you? And what does that mean in this realm? And whatever that means for you, walk in that confidently. Be open to others' perspectives, but try not to let it where you lose yourself in the crowd. Aquarius is diverse. It is open-minded, but it does remember itself at the end of the day. It always has this, there's this healthy detachment. It's friendly, always open, welcomes for things that challenge the mind. But I think I'm gonna leave that there, Aries. A little something to lot to meditate on here, Aries. But if you like that, if anything resonated with you, give it a thumbs up. There's something that's going on with the fire signs. Leo had something equally kind of like, yeah, it was very, 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 very fascinating what was going on with that. I'm curious to see how Sagittarius will look. But share this, Aries, if you know someone who's been, how I see this is either someone who's been maybe ignoring their potential, been needing to step up, or maybe this is someone that they're dealing with. But we are responsible for our own growth. No one else can make us grow. We have to decide how we're going to do that. We have to be the botanist. We have to be both the plant and the botanist, and we can learn different tips from the dancer, and we can exchange notes from the heir, from the founder, from the scholar, but then subscribe, Emperor. Hit that bell button to get notified when I release videos each day or each week. I've been aggressive. But last little bit there, Aries. Aries, and this is something too, if you want to understand how these planets are going to be working in your chart, again, Aries or Neptune and Saturn are going to be entering your chart here soon. That's going to be affecting your Aries placements. Book a reading with me. I have links in the description box below that have the different services that I offer. They're also on my Instagram page as well. And yeah, we can talk about this stuff at nauseum. I can go all day in this Aries and really just kind of break this down, and we can challenge, because I feel that where I've gotten with astrology and how this has been on my journey, it's the energies don't just define you. Like, you're not just an Aries sun. It's asking you, how do you express a sun in Aries in the first house, or in the 10th house, or in the 9th house? How does it feel when Pluto is talking with your sign, or Venus, or maybe some, really get into the nitty gritty, that is, you understand your potential, your layout, your blueprint, in a sense, the note that your higher self has left you to follow, to see the little notes and hints and things that they leave for us. So yeah, definitely check that out, Aries. And once we're done checking your chart, maybe we discover that you have a little Cancer in your chart. And then if that were the case there, Aries, or if you just want to come learn about some lunar shenanigans, because you got two of the hottest tickets, the hottest ticket, the Chariot and our ruler, the High Priestess, to come over to my other channel, the Chariot and Friends. I do videos Monday through Friday there. Spoiler alert, I don't tell Cancer yet. Well, by the time this come out, Cancer will know. But I do sometimes when if there's an energy that I hadn't talked about during the week that happens over the weekend, I'll do some videos on the weekend as well, just to talk about that energy. But yeah, I talk about what sign the moon's at, what phase she's in, so you can just kind of understand Cancerian energy a little bit more. I love Aries energy. I feel that every Aries I've met there's this lightheartedness, there's this fun, I love it. I have Mars in the first house, so it always gets me sparked up. And all the housekeeping, Aries, is down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here. Ooh, so I can get you out of here, Aries. So you have the Hierophant in reverse here, Aries. It's Taurus energy. And so I feel this Hierophant is... Oh, and you got divine counterparts here with the Hierophant and the High Priestess being here, both in reverse. I feel that this is an initiation, Aries. I feel that because I feel that collectively we are waking up in a sense. It's been a slow kind of stretch since Neptune, I feel like, has entered here. But I feel like there is this trial that not just you, all of us are going through, and it looks differently for everyone, of course. But this Hierophant is this discovery of self. You started off with the Scholar, and now I feel like maybe it's going from, because the Hierophant can be this teacher type of energy. Even just thinking with the Emperor, both are very confident in what they do, but now I feel like you're kind of starting from a new place. It's like the teacher who needs to go back to school for a refresher and to see how their topic has evolved, what new perspectives has come through to the mix. How do they apply that to the craft that they're doing and the style that they're doing? It makes it unique for them, Aries. And so, treat this like I feel like this is like the universe is just asking you what do you want to major in? Where do you want your focus to be? Do you want a few focuses? Do you want to major in something, maybe minor in a couple of things? Maybe we are going for a double major. You have the school analogy. But I do feel like, but it is mapping it out like that. Do I have the capacity to do a double major, or do I need to minor in something? How do I want to approach this life, this energy's going forward? But, oh, come on, Aries. You got the new moon here. And the sun showed up for you. The moon showed up for you. Both are going to be very active. The luminaries are doing a lot in your sign. So this is what I'm talking about. So we just had this new moon in Pisces. But now the new solar eclipse, new moon total solar eclipse that's getting ready to happen in your sign, Aries. I feel that this, again, be very intentional with where you're going, with what you're doing, and it doesn't have to be something massive. Like when I get this excitement, it can be you just want to get it to where you're making your bed every day. You could be where you want to learn how to bake a cake. This could be where you want to get to where you're walking up and down your block regularly. This could be you want to become president. This could be, and we can take it lofty if you want to go there, but it's just, where do you want to go? Dancer, air, founder, scholar, botanist. Potential. This new moon energy, potential. But just like the new moon, we got to do something so that you can see it. You know, how are we nurturing that? You know, what is that? We got to put some life into that, Aries. So I love this. I love this. So you stay safe out there, Aries. You got fertile ground that's happening here. This is very fertile ground that's happening. Raise your vibration through the roof to Mars, to the moon. Raise your vibration, Aries. Raise not just your vibration, but when you're done doing that, just raise the vibration. I will catch you, Aries. Do your birth. You do this birthday season. You better do it on the next one later.